Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome to the energy report for the week of June 24th to June 30th. Oh my gosh, the last week of June already. It's wild. It's wild. Do you all feel like time is moving so frigging fast? I definitely do. And I mean, partly I know it's because I have little children, so I'm super busy, but it's just a whole different thing. I know you're all feeling it, or at least a lot of you are. Anyway, I don't want to ramble too long because I want to get into this energy report. So 3 cards came out this week. Well, I pulled 3 cards and there was no volunteer jumper is what I'm trying to say. So let's get into it. The first card that I pulled was Divine Wisdom. Now, I use a specific tarot deck called the Moonchild Tarot by Danielle Noel, one or the other. Anyway, this is a card that she created specifically for the deck, so this won't be in every single tarot deck, only in the Moonchild Tarot, but it is a major arcana card. The second one is the Six of Swords. And the third one is the Emperor, which is another major arcana card. So in keeping with the theme of not only the month of June, but pretty much 2022, we are navigating some very big deal energies. So the messages that come through the Akashic field for the collective around these cards is that basically we are being activated to remembrances of divine wisdom from the perception of our past. So for a lot of us, this is going to feel like remembering past lives, happening upon information probably online, but it could be in books as well, could be in conversations, but probably through content creators on platforms such as YouTube that seed our consciousness with ancient knowledge, things that we knew from before, things that we knew from a long time ago, that we forgot under the veil of amnesia that happens when we incarnate here. Basically, it is like a remembering of things that we've already known for a very long time. And it is a wisdom that isn't so much rooted in our unique micro, past incarnations as humans. It is more like the overall acquired divine wisdom as we have, how do I put it? As we have had incarnations as star beings, as ascended ones, as founding members of different ancient civilizations. It is, I mean, okay, I'm going to speak, this is filtering through my very personal experience. And I shared on Soul Space yesterday, as well as on Instagram. I just came right out with it, with like all of the craziness that has been going on in my mind. And I say craziness, but I don't feel crazy. A complete contrary. I feel I've never felt more lucid and more tapped in. But I right now am processing the realization of things about myself that feel extremely big, such as I am remembering and really owning it that I remember being a founding member of humanity. I remember being one of the beings that created this realm. That set everything into motion, that created humanity, that was here being part of the development of human civilizations. Sometimes I've been a star being, sometimes I have been incarnated into a human incarnation. I also feel strong connections to the angelic realm, or the Elohim, as my mentor Christina helped me to connect with. these are very big rememberings, very, very big rememberings. And on one hand, it is a big stretch for my human ego to integrate all this. And on the other hand, the more I integrate it and the more I lead with it, the more I remember and the more powerful I remember that I am and the more energy that I have liberated. It's kind of like while I was identifying with just being a human or like a human and maybe like a starseed too, but not fully acknowledging the magnitude of my power. And I wanted to really stress that I'm not suggesting I'm more powerful than anyone else. I am suggesting that my soul is an extension of an ascended consciousness collective. So I'm not saying that I, Amy, am an ascended master. Far from it. I'm saying that my soul is an emanation from a larger soul logos that has mastered incarnation and has graduated to being a creator being that creates worlds. And the more I tap into that, the more energy I have available to me, the more consciousness I have available to me. And it's like I spent so much of my energy for so many years trying to blend in, trying to be safe, trying to be small, like trying to stay safe, trying to not be different, trying to, blend in with the crowd, be accepted. And that meant exerting a lot of effort to keep myself small and to adapt to the level of consciousness in the world around me, and to adapt and adopt the behaviors of people around me so that I wouldn't stand out, although I don't think I was really fooling anyone. Honest to God, I think everybody could see that I was a weirdo. Really, I'm just an alien in a human body. And that's what they were sensing. But anyway, I was using up so much of my energy to stay small. And just this past couple days, as I totally lean into just leading with this, it's like, wow, I have so much energy liberated towards creation, towards leadership, towards just be attending to my affairs as a human. And I feel like that's the message that is wanting to come through for everyone, wherever you are on your journey. What I'm feeling in the people that are drawn to me is that we are being activated into faster and faster and bigger levels of remembering of who we are. I'm pretty sure I touched on this with the star card last week, but this is a different energy where it's kind of anchoring in more deeply now. It's less of a fleeting glimpse of the light within the darkness. It's the darkness isn't so dark anymore because the light has been cast into those shadowy places, and what is being revealed is divine wisdom that we have access to as we just fucking drop the charade and stop pretending that we're normal and trying to blend in and just be as powerful as we are. Just be conduits for divine wisdom. So then the next card is the Six of Swords. And the best interpretation I've ever heard or read, I suppose, that I resonated with the most with the Six of Swords is ghosting the haters. And really the energy of this card is this is a minor arcana card. So this is our little actions that we take. This card is, the guidance around it is what action can you take in support of the two major arcana cards that surround it? The action is to leave behind the dysfunction and the drama that was holding us back. So if other people in our lives are dysfunctional and are, choosing to loop around in victim narratives of their own creation, we just do not need to give our energy to that anymore. It's just, we are helping them by ghosting them in a sense. And I don't mean, it depends on your unique situation. Maybe that's what's really called for in this, is like just totally cutting somebody out of your life, whether you're letting them know that in advance or not, but just like drawing a hard boundary where you're like, I cannot participate in this dynamic anymore. I can't do it. Or for others, it might be just, choosing to hold ourselves to a higher standard and not necessarily cut the person out or cut the people out, but it's just like not giving our energy to dysfunctional dynamics anymore. Either way, it's a really powerful boundary that we're drawing. And when we do that, we're actually helping others to awaken, because we are no longer enabling the unconsciousness that has them looping in victim patterns. And I can certainly speak from times in my life when I've looped around in victim narratives. And those times were so uncomfortable because I was disconnected from my own power. Those were among the most miserable phases of my life. I don't want to be stuck there. And yet at the same time, I've learned, and I'm sure so many of you have as well, that we cannot actually liberate anyone else from their illusory constructs of victimhood. They have to liberate themselves. And there's a reason for that. It's because in order to move to your next level and calibrate to your next level, it means that you have to accept your own power and you have to make moves and changes out of that place of power. So if somebody else is coming to rescue you, you aren't powerful, are you? You're not connected to your power. If someone is rescuing you, you are still in that victim kind of state. And when we codependently kind of do that for other people, where we feel like we need to rescue them, we need to stay with them, like what if they feel abandoned? What if their feelings are hurt? What if they, feel betrayed or whatever by my decision to draw this boundary and no longer participate in this dynamic? We might be worried about that, and we might feel a temptation to stick with them so they don't feel those feelings. But guess what? Those shitty feelings that are so uncomfortable might be the thing that catalyzes them to finally look inward and take inventory and take personal responsibility for the choices that they're making and their perception. And that can be the catalyst that unlocks them, unbinds them from this looping victim narrative that they've been in. So this could be the collective narrative. Like, I just had somebody share with me today the Supreme Court decision of overturning Roe versus Wade. P.S. This is a massive loosh grab. Don't give it your energy. Just don't give it your energy, please. But that's an example of the Six of Swords too, is the decision to not give it your energy, the decision to see it as an external narrative that in this exact very moment right now, you are not being affected by it. Maybe you will be affected by it next week. I don't know. I'm not saying you won't, but I'm saying right now in this exact moment, if you're choosing to give it your energy, from a place of enragement or despair or, hopelessness about the direction that humanity's moving or something like that, you are freely offering up your energy, your consciousness, your attention, your loosh to beings that understand this and set it up exactly this way so they can harvest your energy and keep you in a state of reaction rather than creatorship. So this also applies to these external narratives. It's just the decision and the empowerment to leave behind reactionary, codependent dynamics with the external matrix of reality. Understanding that your internal countenance is it's the deciding factor for what you experience. So coming back into sovereignty and connecting in with your power as a being that creates intentionally or unconsciously, unintentionally in every moment. And when you are in your sovereignty and in your power, and you draw those boundaries, and you decide to ghost the dysfunctional dynamics in the external matrix, then you are creating intentionally. You are plugging back into yourself and your own power, and you are creating from there, and your life completely changes when you do that. Completely. Like, I just did that yesterday in an area that I had kind of been like, it was pretty subtle, but I had been leaking a lot of my energy to an external, my perception of something external. And I just disconnected from it yesterday, and I feel so energized. It's wild. It's like the difference between day and night. So just take inventory, notice where you're triggered, notice where something that you hear or see or perceive from the outside world or another person is like kind of hijacking your energy, and just notice that, and don't give yourself shit about it. That's part of the kind of the trappings of the human condition that keeps us stuck here in these low frequency realms. So don't beat yourself up for it, but just notice it and be like, oh, I don't have to be leaking my energy to this anymore. Like, this is actually not affecting me apart from the ways in which I allow it to affect me. And some situations are stickier than others, and they're a little bit harder to see the way out, but I'm telling you, the way out is always inward. It's always inward. The exit is inside of you. And then the final card is the Emperor. So we've already seen this a couple weeks ago, but again, this is a major arcana card, and the Emperor is the divine masculine, and we all carry divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy, divine masculine aspect, divine feminine aspect. So this is calling on our divine masculine aspect in a way that is summoning us to like plant our fucking flag. I am on one today. Sorry for all the extra F-bombs. Plant our flag, draw the line in the sand, and step over it and take up space. Be here. Be in this power. Claim this power. Do not wait for somebody else to hand it to you. I mean, I am literally handing it to you in this energy report, and yet you're the one that has to decide to take it. So take it and claim it, and know that you are here for a reason, and the reason that you're here is very powerful. You are very powerful. You have a direct connection to very powerful levels of consciousness, and you are here to make a difference. And like cycling around in low self-worth and like trying to shrink yourself to people please and to, fit in, whatever, that shit is over now. It's done. There's no benefit to it. At one point there was. And I will also say that some of us are kind of contracted, so to speak, to be like chameleons and to be undercover agents and to blend in with the normal world. That's part of what we're supposed to do. So I'm definitely not telling you like completely like quit your job and blow up your family and, start a social media account. Like if those things aren't for you, they're not for you. Maybe you are supposed to be in the corporate world or whatever, and be an undercover agent straddling both of those worlds. But the guidance that is specific to this card and this whole energy report for this week is like, whatever your role is, own it. Own it. You are powerful. You are a fucking galactic. You are a dragon. You are an angel. You are... You are a wizard. You are an emperor. You are a priestess. You are a money witch. You are a manifester. Like whatever it is, own it and be it now. Lean into the stretchiness and all the triggeriness around it and just Like, be in it, lean into that, and let yourself be expanded. Okay. That is my fiery, kind of a little bit bitchy energy report interpretation, but I say it with all the most love. I feel so many things energetically right now, and I just know that we are supposed to be stepping into it, like not playing around online with quizzes about like, what are your starseed origins anymore? Screw that. It's, whatever that like BuzzFeed or whatever cannot tell you, okay? Tap into your consciousness and your intuition and own it. And even if you can't feel exactly what it is, own your worth, own your power, be in it now. All right. Okay, I'm going to do this light language transmission. Then I'm going to tell you about a couple things, and then I'm going to let you all go to just reverberate in this beautiful, powerful energy for the last week of June. I kirio arwa ahatoi nifina a bijnatwa inarwa iti ira arti iraka isinwa etta ira ifanwa ira ti ik ineta oya ifiriote ara ir pihara ibijna ifinia etoi isalwin ifanwa itirio ia ar tirio te ifanua ihalawin inatra iti irio ite ina a. Okay, my friends. Well, that was a call to activation and action. Okay, I want to tell you about two things before I let you go. The first one is that 1212 is open for enrollment. This is my mastermind. This is my highest level container, meaning that you get continuous, constant, close access to me. We are working together. We are in almost daily conversation. We have weekly calls. It's about all this kind of stuff. It's just being in close proximity to me, and the speed at which I am receiving activations and psychic expansion and dilation is very, very, like, it's speeding up so much. It's becoming so intense, and being in my proximity helps you to calibrate to these activations, calibrate to your power. But it's also for the application of the Christ consciousness mastery. So if you know that you are here to be a beacon of the highest level of consciousness and the highest level of light, and yet, it is a challenge to adjust to it on our own. Like, we cannot do this quietly in secret. We need each other. We need to be in community and doing this in a way that puts it on the front burner. Like, this is a devotion and an application. If this calls to you, if you resonate with being an angelic, a dragon, a priestess, a sorcerer, a sorceress, then you need to be in my world. So send me a DM about it. Send me an email or an Instagram message, and I will share the information about it with you. And the last thing I want to tell you about is my upcoming program. Both of these start in July, so we have a small amount of time before they get going. My upcoming program is called Sorceress, but it's also for men. Sorceress is the word that wanted to come through, and it's called Sorceress, the Call, because I received a transmission about what we are being called to, and essentially it is like we are being called to become vessels and channels for the light, and it is like how to be that channel, how to do it. It's a 5-part transmission on how to open up and channel, how to know what you are channeling, how to hold an amount of light that is so powerful that it has the potential to blow our circuits if we are not ready for it. So how to be ready for it, how to prepare, and how to clear, step aside and clear ourselves out of the way so that we are pure, the purest channels that we can be. If this resonates with you and you know that you are supposed to step forward and be a channel for the light, then join me. It's on early bird pricing until midnight on Sunday, and then it goes up to full price. So the early bird pricing is $444, after which at full price it will be $1,111. So if these things call to you, if you are feeling your power and your activation in the world right now and who you are supposed to be, then reach out, send me a message. The link for Sorceress, the call, is in the show notes, so you can just sign up that way. And yeah, that's what I got for you. I love you all so much. I hope you feel that light language activation, and I hope that you feel your incredible, rich power as it emerges at quantum leap levels right now. I love you, beautiful soul family. Have an amazing week.